Hello and welcome to Investors Hangout, brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund and Value Research. Now, every few weeks, a new fund advertisement promises units at just 10 rupees, which in comparison to an older fund is much cheaper. It looks cheaper because the older fund is probably trading at 80 rupees or 100 rupees a unit. So today we ask a simple question. Does a lower starting price actually mean a better deal? Welcome, Dhirendra.
Thank you.
So let's begin with, why do new fund offers seem to start at 10 rupees a unit?
Simply because that's the convention, that's the tradition. But not necessarily. There are liquid funds or there are some other money market fund where the face value could be 1,000 rupee. But that is it doesn't matter. Assuming it was 100 rupee and it's just the starting NAV, that is the net asset value. When a fund starts, it gets money. And the value, the face value doesn't matter because the money will be invested. How it performs from here on is the material thing. So this is simply a matter of, it is not a reflection that getting something at 10 rupee is cheap. Because that is generally the notion people have, that higher denomination means more expensive. Something available for 50 rupees, something available for 70 rupees as compared to that, something available for 10 rupees. It must be cheaper. No, not really.
Okay.
It's just the starting NAV for a new fund, and that is where they start from.
So doesn't a lower price mean more units and more room to grow?
It does, but not necessarily more room to grow.
Okay.
Assuming that today there is a fund which is starting at 10 rupee, and there is another fund which has a NAV of 500 rupees. And this fund, the one which is starting today, gets some money from investors. Investors get allotted units at 10 rupee. And this fund replicates exactly the same portfolio. And that fund which is 500 rupees, the NAV at 500 rupee, it appreciates 10%. So it will become 550 rupees. Here, because it has replicated exactly the same portfolio, so this fund will also appreciate 10%. And that is what matters. Here, your 10 rupee becomes 11 rupee. And here, the other fund, 500 rupees becomes 550. The real thing is how different fund. And when it comes to your investments, if you are investing 5,000 rupee in either of the fund, it will grow exactly the same. Your 5,000 rupees becomes 5,500. And that is what matters, whether you invest at 10 rupee or whether you invest at 500 rupees.
So if the unit price is meaningless, what actually decides my return?
How is your money managed? Where it is getting invested? What will the fund manager do? How will he actually prepare for growth? Where will he invest for growth? And how does it think about protecting the downside? Think of an equity fund, and an equity fund ideally will be the one which grows nicely in a rising market and falls little less in a falling market. And over a period of time, it will translate into a marginally better return than the index. And that is that's all there to it. How the fund is being managed for the upside and for the downside.
Right. Now, an existing fund, it has years of history, whereas a new fund, it has no history at all. So what should an investor actually check before putting money in a fund?
That is why we keep suggesting that look for a fund which has some history. At least you know something about it than nothing there, because this is going to be the beginning of a new journey. And but there could be fund managers who come with a history, they come with an understanding, and there could be some cases where the investment case being built in such a manner that there could be a compelling case for it. There could be novelty in it. There could be an opportunity which looks promising. But generally speaking, when it comes to looking at any existing fund with a history, you have a very clear premise to think that how did this fund do when the market turns very bad? And how was it able to participate when the market was doing very well? Was it able to beat the only reason why you invest in an actively managed fund is that are you able to beat the index? Are you able to beat the benchmark? Because that is the opportunity cost. If you are willing to take risk, if you are willing to take market risk, then you have either you entrust your money to a fund manager or you invest in an index fund where you are not entrusting it to a fund manager. You are assured that you will do no better, no worse than an index. You will do exactly as an index. And if that is the case, then you have to see that has it been able to beat the benchmark, and how bad it gets when in the bad times, and how good it is able to participate in the good times. And these three numbers, if you are able to look at it, and the first one is key. And the first one, that the fund's ability, demonstrated credential of beating the benchmark, which is an alternative, which is a given option anytime for any investor choosing an actively managed fund. So that's a great starting point.
In any way, is there a case to invest in an NFO ever?
Mostly not, because you have to understand that why a fund is getting started. There could be a reason that a fund company is getting started, a new fund company is being set up. They're getting started and they have to launch a new fund. That does not mean that you have to necessarily invest in all that. Let it prove its credentials. Let it prove itself. And if you like it, there could be some cases where there is a case for the novelty. For example, few years back, when Indian investors were presented with opportunity to invest abroad, they were all new funds. They were investing in a market which had proven credentials. They were investing in a fund which was a fund of funds. Those funds had history. They were investing in the US market, such opportunity, and easily you could invest in those. And otherwise, those markets were not accessible to Indians. So for the first time it became available. There was a case, and if you like the investment case, there was a compelling case that most of our money was invested domestically, and for the first time we got an avenue. So there could be a case, and there could be a case of a new fund for Indian investors where the fund is old, being made available to you for the first time. There could also be a case of a design and a structure. For example, the REITs and InvITs. But even there, any new kind of fund, for example, SIFs are new, InvITs are new, REITs are new. And give them some time. Let them prove themselves. Let them present a case that, okay, yes, they have been, because there is a bit of learning there. Even fund managers learn how to go about managing it when a new category emerges. So there could be a case, but one should consider them reluctantly, and one should evaluate them and consider them for some compelling reason.
All right, so the fund's NAV, be it 100 rupees, 500 or 10 rupees, it does not matter. What matters is how a fund is being managed and how it performs. And that's all we have for you in this episode. Keep watching the space for more information. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
An investor education and awareness initiative of Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.